So, are there people joining in, or I should just start now? Let's just wait a couple of minutes more, then we will start. By the time people are joining, I am going to introduce myself. I am Devyanshu Jadon. I am one of the Google Developer Club's core team member in our college. And today I'm going to be hosting this event, which is about GitHub and Git, specifically Git, and how version control works. So let's just wait a couple more minutes and then we will start. So shall I start now, or we can wait a couple more minutes? So Rekha ma'am, you just tell me
Yes,
if I should start or not.
I think so. You should start the session now.
Oh,
People will
we
be joining. You can move forward.
okay. Before we all start, let me just tell you that just give you a brief introduction about myself. I am Devyanshu Jadon. Um, I am in second year of engineering from computer science branch in our college. Um, I am also one of the DSC core team member, and today I will be hosting an event on Git and GitHub, which are a version control system for developers that work in collaboration um, or open source, basically. So before I talk about that, I want you to uh, know about open source, what it is, and how you can contribute in it. So basically, open source is uh, those code that is managed by a lot of people. You can edit that code. You can uh, do everything that you can use that code in your code base, and you can do a lot of things with that. So why you should open so why you should contribute in open source? Basically, there are a lot of things that helps you to get when you contribute in open source. The first thing is real world experience. Uh, as you know that there are a lot of open source projects like Django, uh, React Native, and also Angular is also an open source program that uh, you can contribute in, and you can also use their code to enhance your uh, product that you are building. So it gives you a real world experience about how things work in the industry. Um, you can help the manager of the project with minor fixes, bug fixes, and you can do all of the thing with open source. And now that we are on version control slide, uh, I want to talk about Git, which is one of the program that helps you to control your uh, projects, versions, and everything, like from who created that, and when it was created, when one of the changes were made. If there was some changes, you can revert back to the original state of the program or the project. So Git is one of the programs that helps you maintain your project, uh, all of the versions of it, all the minor changes you made, everything. And as I told you that why we use a version control system, because it helps you to maintain everything in a way that everyone can read it, everyone can contribute in it, edit it, and when we do it this way, like when we work in collaboration with others, uh, it makes it more easy and faster to make change in your code. Otherwise you will be uh, basically figuring out how, like in old fashioned ways, like when you used to do a hard copy of like uh, flash drives. You have to send code to them uh, with hard disks and flash drives. So it made a lot easier for the people collaborating in a team. Um, that was all about uh, the theory of what it is. Now let's get into some technicalities of it. Um, and when I describe it, uh, I will also be giving you an hands-on tutorial sort of, so you can you can get an idea how it works.
It's absolutely, Devanshu. You are speaking absolutely correct thing. Giving exposure about the hands-on, about how to get
Yeah.
started with Git. Giving them hands-on experience would be great thing. As I think so, you all might be knowing about Hacktoberfest, which is currently going on.
Yeah.
Devanshu, have you kept the slides on it or not?
On Hacktoberfest.
Yes.
Um,
Anything you have to, like in your slides? Is there anything of that sort?
yeah, there are a bunch of programs that you can join about open source that can help you gain experience in that field. I
Okay.
have, but I don't have actual. let me just uh, finish my thing. That then I will be showing you how you can contribute in one of the programs I will be.
Yes.
It's not going to be Hacktoberfest specific, but all in general, how you can contribute in open source.
Yes, I just wanted to do the same thing, that how we can fork from a repository, how we can
Yeah,
pull,
yeah,
and
yeah,
how we can edit edit anything whichever we want, and
yeah,
how we can push it into any repository.
yeah. I
You
I
can,
am
if you have decided any repository, that it's fine. Otherwise, you can take you can fork from my GitHub repository. If you need, I can
um,
share you the link.
I made like I prepared before the workshop. I will be
Yeah, but okay, that's cool.
demonstrating
That's cool.
everything.
Yes.
No problem with that.
We all would like want to know it in a short and sweet manner. So go on
Yeah,
with it.
yeah. Basically,
So go on.
so uh, let me just start with. Uh, Let me just share my screen so that I can demonstrate you how this the slide you are seeing right now, how from your local machine to the repository, that everyone so that everyone in the world can see your code will be possible. So let me just give you the tutorial of that. If you can see my screen, I am going to start my terminal, and in that I will open my Git Bash, which is one of when we download Git on your in our computer, we get this uh, command line interface which Git provides. Uh, so there are certain commands that you can use in Linux basically. Uh, so when you want to create a folder in your computer, you will use mkdir, which is a short for make directory, and with a space you can give it a name. So basically, I will give it DSC folder, or before that I will have to enter into the desktop so that you can also see that on the screen. uh, I will just get into my desktop with the cd command. Now I am in desktop, so I will create a folder with this command mkdir dsc folder. As you can see, the folder has been created. Now what I will do is I will uh, create files in it. So to create files, you have another command which is touch, and I will create a text file, ammo.txt. text, right? As you can see, when I open this demo.txt, there's nothing inside it, and I will just write some gibberish inside it, and I will just save it, and I will close it. So now the main part comes in. When you create a Git repository inside your computer, inside your local machine, I will get inside my DSC folder by CD, and in that I will use the git init command, which is used to initialize the Git repository. And here we do it. This is how we do it. Git init. So you can see I have created a Git repository inside my folder. So now I can check whether what's inside this repository by using ls under dash a, so that it also shows the hidden folders. As you can see here, we have .git file, which is going to be indicating that a Git repository has been created. Now we can use it to create multiple files like touch file 1.txt, touch file .txt. You can create multiple files, and you can also edit those files. And one of the things that I want to make you know that it is inside a master branch, and as we go inside, go ahead, we will I will tell you about branches, how branches works, and that's something of for later in this session. Now we have initialized our Git repository. So what we will have to do is we will have to create a new repository. This is in our local computer. So when we go on to our GitHub, we have this button called new, which is used to create a Git repository. I am going to use the same name, GDSC folder, and it is available. In description, I will use the same GDSC. And without adding anything, I will just use click on the create repository button, and as you can see that there are a certain instruction how you can add a Git repository inside your from your local computer to this global or this repository that we just created. So we already created a repository in our local computer, so we will just need to use these commands for our. So basically we will just open our terminal and use this command: git remote add origin, and we will just copy this URL and paste it here. What it will do is it will connect your local computer's repository to the global repository that we just created. Now we also want to make it inside, like in the same branch. So we will use git branch main. We have an error while pushing the repository, because we haven't initialized anything in our main repository. Like as you can see, if I use git status, we have some untracked file which are not added to the staging area. And as I showed you in the previous slide, that from local computer to the global repository, that to the remote repository or the global repository, we have a staging area where we commit some changes in the files that we created. So we will have to commit some changes here. Like we will have to make an image of the changes we just made. So we will use git commit, and for what we did, we will have to use some message. So for that we will use -m, and we will write a message here that something like added file 1 and file 2, so that others can also understand what we just did with the commit we just made. And it is showing that same error again because we haven't added them into our staging area. So to add that to our staging area, we will use git add. And to add all of our files to the staging area, we will use just a single dot or the name of the files if we want to add them individually. For right now, I will use add dot because I want to add all the files. The files have been added. Now we will check git status for just to check that all the files are added or not. So you can see that changes to be committed, and these files that are showing in green are added to the staging area. Now we will have to commit those changes. We will use same git commit then message, and our message was added file 1 and file 2. So it says that in the root file we have added, like, we made this commit, and the commit was adding file 1 and file 2. Now we can see uh, if we want to uh, let me just wait. Uh, Everyone, did you understand everything that I just showed you? Uh, so I can proceed further, so that you don't get confused. Okay. So yeah, now we will from the staging area to the remote repository, we will use those commands again, like git push, and uh, to make those changes to our, like, remote repository, we will use git remote. And let me just show you uh, in yeah. So now I will add those files to the main repository, the remote repository that we created earlier. I will use git remote add origin, and then I will just use the URL of our repository and paste it here. And as you know that we already added that, so we will just need to push those changes we just made. So I will uh, I'm in the main branch. I will just use the git push queue, and it will take some time because it's uploading those files inside your. It's asking me to sign up. It says the files that we created are like pushed to our main branch. So if I just refresh it, we can see that these files have been added to our uh, repository in the like in the remote repository from our local computer. So this is how it works, and I can open these files because there's nothing written inside it. Uh, we have nothing to see what it has. So basically now I will show you how you can uh, change from from your previous commit to the to the new commit. When you change something, uh, first you will have to just use, or you can just open your file and write something like this is a text file that is created just now, and I will just save this. And now we can, when we see with git status, you will see that there have been modifications to the to the to the files that we created initially. So I will use git status again. As you can see, the file one has modified, and I can see what these I can see that there is a red indication that it has not been added to the repository or the staging area. So I will just use git add file 1.txt, which is the name of the file. So we just added the file to the we just added file to the staging area. Now we will have to commit that change so that it reflects to like we can create an image that these changes were already made. I will use git commit again. And with a message, file 1 was modified. Now you can still not see the changes here, if I'm not wrong. You can still not see the changes in the remote directory because I haven't pushed it to the remote directory from my computer. It is committed inside my inside my local machine, but not in the remote directory. So I will have to use the git push command again. So I am going to use git push, and I will just use the name of the file, which was file 1.txt. It is showing an error because I haven't specified the branch that I want to push in. So I will use the same commands. Git push. Now it has done its work. As if I refresh the changes, as you can see that the file that we just made changes to says that the plus shows that we made a new change to this directory, which is this. You can see this. It's written there. This is text file that is created just now. So, did you get to understand how it works when you push from your local machine to the main directory? Uh, if I can get a thumbs up or something like hands up in the chat, or you can also open your mics if you are comfortable, so that I get a confirmation that you understood what I just explained. Okay. Now I will explain you how branching works. Like imagine uh, mm, imagine you are not the owner of the repository that someone else has created. What you will do is you will branch, like you will fork that, or you can clone that repository inside your local computer or machine. Then what you can do is you can create, like you can make changes that you want to make, or you want to contribute. You will just fork that inside, like inside your account, inside your GitHub account, and you will just use it, and like you can modify it as whatever you want to do, like with it. So for an example, I created another account to demonstrate how uh, uh, contributing to another another repository, and how branching works in version controls. So let me just share my screen. Now you might be thinking what these uh, these branches are like, this is the master or the main branch. Um, this is the master. This is the master or the main branch that you can see. All the branches are coming out of this, and we are currently on this branch, which is the feature branch that someone else has created. So how it all works, I I will go to the master branch so that I can create other branches as well. uh, Git. And to switch from branches to branches, there is a command called um, wait um, if you give me a couple of minutes, I will. Can you see my screen? Okay.
Divyanshu, your mic is muted.
Okay. Sorry for that. um, I was telling about when we use the git checkout command, we can switch from branches to branches that we created. So from the feature branch, we are now at the master branch. From here, we can create other branches as well. So yeah, from Git branch, I will create another branch named feature 2. So you can see that now I have created another branch, uh, and I'm still on the master branch because I haven't used the command checkout. So I will go inside the Git branch, like Git the branch named feature 2. Now we are inside the Git. So inside the Git feature. So now I will commit this change. Like now you can see that I have another branch uh, named Git, uh, it's named feature 2, and we can see another branch of that. Uh, so basically, uh, when I created a new branch, I have to capture an image of that as well, so that it can be reflected in the history of the projects. And now I will show you how it works in the real world.
Devanshu, I think so. We are quite running out of time, so we can take the further hands-on labs in our next session on which is based on like GitHub. And for now, I would like you to give the concluding notes to our attendees.
Okay. So, in conclusion, I want to show you one more. I will just take 5 more minutes, and then I will just conclude it. I want to show you how you can contribute in